Today we're going to attempt to tackle Moira's barking, biting, and hopefully make some progress on her separation anxiety, as well as trying to start actually building some deeper communication with her. This is Moira, and I'm Zach George. Moira, the German Shepherd dog, is looking for a home, and I've only got 2 weeks to teach her how to behave so that someone will be willing to adopt her. Okay, we have a situation, and as you can see, it's not going to be easy. She jumps excessively, lunges at almost any distraction. Moira loves to bark, and she definitely pulls on leash and uses her teeth to interact with the world a little too inappropriately. I am feeling a little bit overwhelmed. If that was a dog, she would be like, I'm not paying attention to you, I'm paying attention to that. I will train this dog. Look at this loose leash right now. Shake, yes. Much better, yes. Look at me, is she getting trained? This is reality dog training. Reveal. Last time we saw that Moira needs a lot of help with her manners, and we started with some basic training with her. We taught her how to let go of a toy and how to leave something alone and pay attention to me. Today I'm hoping to take that to the next level, but we obviously have to address this biting right now. And I like to always have like, oh, geez, that's my mic. Gosh, we have to address this biting right here. She is way too old to be doing this kind of biting. This is exactly the kind of behavior that can scare a lot of people. So even though this hurts, it is just play biting, but a German Shepherd, even play biting hard, can still have unwanted consequences. So many rescues have this issue of adult puppy biting because they don't always have someone who is there to show them exactly the right things to bite on. So there we go, that's what I'm trying to do. I couldn't let that go on any longer. She doesn't mind what she's biting on, and honestly, there are some good things that she can bite on. I need to be very careful with her though, because this is not the ideal tug toy, but she's into it. What's this? Whoa, thought that was better. Still gotta watch it, there we go. So adult puppy biting can be dangerous for people for obvious reasons. And it's dangerous for dogs because they can be misunderstood while they're doing it. I wanna let her know biting is okay, but only with permission and only with approved items. I mean, half the battle is just getting her to play tug. That's no problem for her. We got that under control. Don't even need to generate interest. She's like, give it to me. And so that's exciting for a lot of reasons. Okay, we need to practice let go. Let go, good, stay. Hope she doesn't know stay, my bad. Sit though, I'll take it. Good, okay. I'm gonna continue to work on tug and let go until it looks really perfect because I wanna be able to communicate with her like by giving her this outlet, but only under very strict rules. Let go. Yes, good. See that quick let go? All right, now I'm gonna ask her to do something, let go. You'll see where this is going and how teaching your dog to bite can actually help you teach them to stop biting. Seems weird, right? Yes, okay, get it. Let go. Yes, let me go for a shorter tug. Good, okay, let go. I'm gonna withhold for a little bit longer here just to let her know that last little non-cooperative tug at the toy was something I don't want her to repeat. So there's gonna be a consequence. You can see she might be a little irritated by that, so let's keep it positive. Sometimes scratching like that can mean a dog is getting frustrated, so let's keep it optimistic. Let go. Good. Okay, that's very good. Oh, we're gonna take a break now. Good. I don't know how that's gonna happen. I'm gonna continue to work on her very persistent play biting. She's had a lot of time to establish this habit, so it's gonna take a second to get under control, most likely. Hold on, this is currency, this is money, you have to earn this. Moira has to have some basic skills. We have to be able to put her into a sit position, a lie down position. Sometimes we want her to come up into a stand position, you know, to be brushed or to be groomed. These are all really essential skills that we should teach our dogs. I'm using Pupford's freeze-dried rabbit today, and she's really into him. This basic training is something that you can teach a dog really quickly. It's also another great way to redirect their puppy energy when they start biting on you. Sit. Good. So fortunately, she already knows sit. That's awesome. I'm going to start by luring her into a down with a treat, and I'm going to reward for the smallest step in the right direction to help her learn this one fast. Since this is an early primary training session, I'm going to be pretty liberal on my treats. Trying to get a little more, just a little. Yes. See, like those legs right there are starting to bend a little bit. This is called lure training, what we're doing right here. We're just luring her. I'm literally using the treat to direct her downwards like this. Yes, good girl. I like to think of her nose and the treat as magnets. The closer they are, the more likely she is to engage with the treat. So I'm gonna lure her back into an up here as soon as, come on, a little reluctant there. See, it might be too far. What happens if I come down here and I really magnetize it to her nose? Hasn't quite computed yet. Come on, here we go. Yes, good girl. Did you see her brainstorming? That was really cool. And then back into it down. Let's see how long it takes her to get the treat now. Yes, see, much quicker that time. When she gets it, she really gets it. Sit. Don't need to lure her on sit because she knows that now. We're gonna lure her into a down. Yes. See, maybe I can do this another way to get her to come up. We can do, yes, I love the stand right there. That's really cool. Moira is catching on to this so quickly. Let's see if we can start to phase out that lure. Yes, good. Really key moment there. That was where we were transforming from the lure to a hand signal. And by the way, even though I'm using a lot of treats today, that will not always be the case. In the beginning, you really want to get traction, even for the first several months of training, up to a year, to really solidify these behaviors as much as we can. Yes, there's the sit. Now let's get her back into a stand. Yes. Yes, and okay, I'll go ahead and release her from the stand just to let her know. So rather than just letting the behavior die off, really put a clear end to it so they understand. Okay is a term that I use just to kind of let her know, okay, we're done with that particular thing, we're gonna move on to the next thing. And remember, yes is my really special word right now. I'm really sure to reward her every time I say yes, or at least I have tried to. Yes, and give her another treat. Sit. Yes, I will reward on sit here to keep her going. Yes. Down, starting to say down, you know, as she's doing the thing. Let's go directly from the down to the stand now. Yes, she's smart, what? You can see if she were to get into a bitey mood, now I have down and stand that I can focus on teaching her. So I might go through that similar routine next time she has a biting outburst with me. So we're really establishing a lot of great communication together already. Leave it and look at me. She's learning how to do these basic skills right now. Moira! And to reiterate, every time she comes to me for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to go out of my way to reward her and make her life very pleasant for listening to that one. You don't want to be stingy on that with a new dog or any dog, and especially a dog like her. I would say she's definitely a flight risk. If she could get out of the gate or the door, she would run and you're not catching up to her. So we really want to start building the strongest recall we can. Teaching basics like this is so important because it helps your dog start to learn to understand how to interact with you. And whether you're teaching an older dog or a puppy, you've got to teach them all the same things eventually. If you have a new dog, consider signing up for my 30-Day Perfect Pup program. It's actually completely free, no strings attached. It's a course that I've designed to guide you through everything you need to know how to get started with teaching all of the basics. I've actually got exclusive video lessons in that course and tons of additional resources to help you make progress. There's even an app available so you can keep track of your progress and take all of your new dog training knowledge wherever you go. I'm gonna have a link in the description where you can sign up. It's time to put Moira up tonight. Moira definitely has separation anxiety, so I'm still troubleshooting to see the extent of it. I'm tossing some treats in there. So like I said before, my goal isn't necessarily to have her in the crate as a primary way to contain her, but I do think it's important that she be comfortable with it. Especially right now. I'm thinking she'll probably settle down in a little bit. So we're going on our second night with Moira, and I'm gonna sleep out here. I've got the air mattress out here again, and we're gonna see how she does. Last night, as you might recall, she did pretty well. She woke up one time, let her out. She was good for the rest of the night. You don't necessarily have the night waking problems with adult dogs that you might have with puppies, though you can. It really depends. But we'll see. I don't wanna predict anything. I'm still gathering data. It is only my second day with her. You can see, look, there's a bone on top of her crate. I'm glad she wants that, because that's a really great way to get them comfortable with their crate. There you go. If I can get her to sleep 8 hours in there, even if I'm right here, that's 8 hours that she experiences being in the crate while in a relaxed state of mind, even if she is unconscious. I mean, it's something. So my goal with crate training is really just to rack up time with them being in the crate where they do not feel stressed. And overnight is one of the easiest times to accomplish that if you have a dog who's kind of borderline with the crate like her. So she just started getting a little antsy. I got up and then I walked away just a few feet. So I'm gonna wait for her to calm down here for just a second and we'll see how she does. I'm gonna give her a turbo tendon. I gave her one of these yesterday and she really liked it. You can see she wants it, so. Sometimes it's as simple as just giving your dog something else to do. By the way, if you're wondering about the crate pad, she got so muddy yesterday that the bed was just not usable, so we put a crate pad in there. And this is different than last night because I'm right here. Last night, when I was this close to her, her anxiety subsided. Good, yes. I'm gonna try one more thing. I'm just gonna ignore her for 5 straight minutes. And if after 5 minutes she's still feeling frantic, I'll probably adjust my strategy. Let her sleep on the tie out next to me where she has a little bit more room, but I don't want her to continue to stress though. I mean, if you're wondering why I'm doing this, it's because a crate can often make it easier to manage a dog. And I like to use really oversized crates, so for a crate, this is pretty big. But the more and more that I'm watching her, the more I'm realizing that a crate really might not be for her. I just let her out so I don't think she has to relieve herself. 5 minutes can seem like an eternity when you're timing things like this. All right, I'm gonna call it and we're gonna tie her out. All right. Got you on the tie out. She's still a little frantic, but let's see if she settles down a little bit. So you can see she has like, I don't know, 12-foot radius. Maybe she just wants some cuddling. Let's see how that goes. Come here. Oh my goodness. I mean, think about how much they have to take in, you know? She's getting a lot of experience. The first few months of her life have been all over the place, I'm sure. And I think ultimately that's probably gonna serve her really well, having all of these experiences, as unconventional as they might be. Possibly born astray, maybe she had a family. She didn't appear to be in the best health when she was found. And then she had a foster mom, right? Now she's here and she might just want a little interaction here. She's like, I still want to play a little bit more before we go to bed. I mean, isn't this what dog training is? It's just a lot of trial and error, seeing what works for what dog. This is a good wrestling dog too, but we're gonna go easy on the wrestling. After all, we're trying to make her the ideal family dog. And that's a very personal thing. Good girl. Okay, looks like she's happy now. She just grabbed her turbo chew, so maybe she'll get into that now. All right, so she is settling down. So all in all, the troubleshooting there was, I gave her a little bit of attention, a little bit of playtime, and then she decided to settle down. I think we're finally getting a sleeping dog. Good night, Moira. Good morning. Okay, so Moira slept wonderfully last night. Although she didn't sleep on the floor, she ended up sleeping right here, which in a way kind of complicates things because I was hoping to be able to train her not to be on the furniture, which I still am, but I had to weigh a bunch of things. Like in the crate, she was way too anxious, and here she would settle down, but she would still get up and pace in a way that made me think she was feeling some anxiety. And then once she got up here at the foot of the bed, she just passed out and the anxiety seemed to be reduced. So you need to prioritize these things when you're training a dog. To me, anxiety can be significant, and if there's anything I can do to reduce that, if just laying here was enough to make her feel calm and at ease and make her feel a lot better, I was happy to do that. That may not be practical for her new family, I don't know, so I don't love that aspect of it, but reducing anxiety is one of the more important things. I'm still not giving up on crate training. My next strategy with the crate is to try and get her to enjoy it maybe when she's in a real fatigue state of mind, maybe after a long walk or heavy play, and seeing if I can get her to just chill and take a nap there. So the crate training saga continues. What is this? I get up to go and get ready, and she starts doing this. That's pretty insistent. Girl, you can do better than this. To give you some context here, I was just playing with her, and I'm like, oh, I better go get ready so we can shoot today. And she just lost her mind. I don't want to cave by just going over there. This is really like what we call demand barking. Girl. I'm gonna wait for a fraction of quiet, and then I'm gonna go acknowledge the quiet. Yes. Fraction of quiet. Quiet. Good girl. Okay. The jumping is another thing we've got to work on. Yes. Good girl. So, gonna reward the quiet there. Good girl. This is why you keep your treats handy when you're training a dog. You know, you want to really be able to snap into training mode. The freeze-dried rabbit, a huge hit with her. I'm gonna give her one of these turbo chews to see if that makes her feel complacent. I don't know, are you in the mood for a turbo chew or not? I'd say that's a yes. So I'm gonna just chill here for a sec, see if she gets fixated on that. And then I'm gonna go get ready, and we are gonna teach this dog somehow how to stay when I ask her to.
Good luck.
Oh boy, you did pan on me when I was like having the thought of how on earth are we gonna get this done. Yeah, this is why I'm supposed to get ready before we shoot. Not too close. That's how I looked.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's one way to deal with a barking outburst. Remember, we call those secondary training sessions. That's where we snap into training mode on a moment's notice because our dog is behaving in a way that requires us to do it. And I think where most people probably screw up the most when training their dog is they rely on training sessions like that as a primary way to train their dog, when in reality you have to really be proactive about teaching them how to sit and stay and be quiet and lie down and all of that so that you can give them alternative things to do rather than just getting frustrated when they bark. But good example of a secondary training session. They are necessary, they're just not the main way that you train a dog. And to clarify, if you're wondering, well Zach, is that a reward when you gave her the treats and you gave her the tendon? I wouldn't say it's a reward because I was really zooming in on acknowledging the quiet, more calm behavior, and that's why I gave that to her. I didn't keep the bar so high that I was gonna make her be quiet for 30 minutes before I gave her something. Do you see what I mean? When you have a new dog, you just wanna find small, sometimes microscopic moments to acknowledge, and you'll be surprised at the kind of traction that can give you on your training. So now hopefully she'll be on that for 10, 20 minutes while I go get ready and we can get on with life. Okay, young lady, it is time for your next lesson. You guys know that I think that teaching a dog to stay is by far one of the most important things. And she's off to a pretty good start. Like, well, spoke too soon. Sit. Yes, good. And that was effectively a stay. You see how she's holding her position. I like to break down stay into 3 major categories. Stay for a period of time. Yes, much like we're seeing right here. Stay while we walk away with distance, and finally, stay while distracted. Yes. Now, I really like to teach all 3 of those separately, one at a time. Really zoom in on the specific thing that you're trying to train at a particular moment. But you can see stay for a period of time. This is the easiest version of a stay, right? And then saying, okay, come on, rattle the bag over here. Good job. You get her really excited. Just want it to be super obvious so she understands what we're doing. We have a beginning and a middle and an end to what we're requesting. All right, here she's wandering off. This is why we have her on leash usually. Come on, girl, Moira. Yes, definitely want to give her a huge reward there. Sit. Good. You can see her focus is good. Let me just test. Look at me. Look at me. Yes, good. Took her a second there, but that's good. I just wanted to measure. But I'm gonna walk away, then I'm gonna come back. Here. See how her attention was waning there? Good girl. Stay. Walking away. Notice how I'm not releasing her from the stay over here. She's doing really well with this. Very good. I'm coming over here. Now I'm gonna say, okay, come on. Yes, good. Moira is definitely a dual currency dog, meaning she'll work for treats as we saw. But right now I suspect she's really in the mood to play. If I can get traction, this is gonna be really effective, but right now she's gonna be pretty wild. But this is a powerful currency, but she's gonna go nuts over it. This is something a lot of people deal with. How do I reward with a toy? My dog is just this crazy. After all, I'm trying to teach stay, which is kind of the opposite of what we're seeing here, right? She's wound up. Let go. Leave it. Leave it. Sit. Stay. Good girl. Okay, good. So she was, I had to fight for that stay a little bit. She was so wound up. I was a little physical there as well. You're not used to seeing that, but when you have a dog like this, it's all about how the dog perceives it. She didn't seem to perceive me like being a barrier and even restraining her as being aversive at all. She's like, all right, what do I gotta do to get it? So it's really dog by dog that you have to consider your approach. Pardon the tangent here, but you gotta be prepared to go in the direction your dog wants to go in from time to time. And remember, we're still polishing up let go still. Let go. Stay. Look at me. Love that. Another variation of the leave it, look at me combo. Look at me. Okay, yes, good. Good girl. And I'm gonna bring that toy to life and really give her the things she wants when she did it. A lot just happened there. We did stay for a period of time. We did stay while I walk away. I was able to get her to look at the toy and leave it alone while I held it off to the side. And then I asked her to look at me and she looked at me. Stay. All of those skills are something that she is not used to working with me on. She's very new to this, but she's smart. She catches on fast. Okay, yes, good job. See that? So we have stay for a period of time, stay while we walk away. So the hard part for her and for any dog is learning how to stay when they want to go or stay while distracted. She got me there pretty good, but she let go, thankfully. Whoop. Jeez, that jumping, I mean, this is something we gotta work on. We'll work on that later, but focus on stay while distracted. All right, let go, easy, sit, stay. She's looking. Look at me. Yes, okay, good girl, very good. In that example, you could see how she held her stay while something she really wants was nearby. But did you also notice how delicate I was? I didn't make the distraction super crazy. We want to work up to that. Stay. The whole reason that I'm picking up and dropping the toy repeatedly here is to bring movement to it. See, things that move are generally more tempting to dogs than things that are stationary. Okay, good, and there's the reward. That was a lot farther than I thought we would get. I mean, we had stay for duration while I walked away and while distracted there. So those are rough draft versions that I'm gonna try and build on. We also did this training in my living room where there aren't many distractions at all. So I'm gonna be looking for more advanced versions of that moving forward as we train in different environments. You can see how excited Moira is about her food right now, and we'll tackle jumping later. But we also know that she has the anxiety over the crate, but I have a hunch, look at that. She'll go right in when you give her her food there. So I do wanna make sure that every time I feed her in her crate since she so eagerly goes in there for her meal. This is one of the very few ways that I found so far to give her a real positive, stress-free, presumably, or relatively stress-free time to be in the crate. And like I said before, it's about racking up individual minutes over time with them enjoying being in the crate, as she appears to be right now. She's at least enjoying eating while in the crate. I just want to see after she's done eating, which should be in about 4 seconds going at this rate, how she does. Does she immediately start pacing back and forth like we've seen, or does she relax? Even if she does start pacing, I want to give her a moment to see if she settles down. So really, we're just testing here. It's the scientific method in action. My hope is that she's like, okay, I'm gonna just take a break now. I had some mental stimulation with that last training session. I'm full. Maybe she might relax. Maybe I'm being too optimistic, I don't know. There's pacing, but it's slow pacing. It's not fast pacing. So I think I have let me give her a little bit of, I like that she's sitting. On one hand, you want to let her out before the stress increases, but on the other hand, if you think it might go in the other direction, you want to see if you can give her a success where she might relax. I'm staying close on purpose because I'm almost positive if I walk away at this point, we're likely to see her get really amped up, which I'd like to avoid. Looking for ways to escape that crate. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and let her out. Let me see if I can get a sit at least. Can you sit? Thank you. Then we'll go with our crate alternative. I also only use this tie out while she's being supervised by Bree or me. This might look a little odd to a lot of you, but this is a way to phase in freedom in the house. And she has about as much room as any standard living room probably. So she still has plenty of freedom here between training sessions. So I'm out here with Inertia right now, just chilling. We're getting some Frisbee practice in while Moira takes a rest. Is that one catchable? Yes, very good girl. It's a windy day. You know, you're being pretty epic today, I gotta say. She made some amazing catches off camera. You still got energy? All right, come around. Go! Wow. I'm just amazed because it's such a bad throw. In this wind, it's hard to be straight sometimes. And she just finds a way to catch up to him. Look at that. She's on fire. All right, our yard guys have shown up. And of course, Moira's quite alert by that. But she's doing okay. Come here, girl. What's up? Take off. There you go. She's doing okay. Let me see if I can just encourage her to do some normal behavior like a sit while in the presence of the yard guys out there. There's a couple of things going on. Number one, you've got really loud sounds from weed whackers and lawnmowers. And secondly, you have people who are close by on the property. A lot of dogs will become alert when that happens. Hey, I didn't release you from your sit. Come here. Sit. I think someone's learning. Okay, good. There you go. How's that toy? Go get that toy. Good girl. So this is pretty awesome. You can see we've got weed whackers out there. We've got the lawnmower going out there. And I'm able to keep her focus on this toy, which is great. Might notice we still have the tie out in lieu of a crate here. So if I can keep her attention on me, even if it's through a toy, when there are heavy distractions like that, or moderate distractions at least. Oh, come on. Oh, you couldn't last. Come on, here, this way. Come on. I'm resisting the urge to pull her away because I want to see if I can get her attention on me voluntarily. That is the key. See, if I can motivate her to listen to me without pulling her away, that would help me start laying a foundation for this kind of training around things that she wants to bark at. Treats helped. Had to do some problem solving. Come. So we have work to do in that department, obviously. I don't mind her barking when there are people at the house, but when I ask her to be quiet, I would like for her to learn how to stop. I think most people would agree with that. So that's where we are. Here. Do you want this? Sit. Good. All right. Finally got my sit there. Good job. Let me try. Let's go back to basics. Look at me. Yes. This is counter conditioning, trying to change her response to various stimuli. Good girl. All right, take a break. All right, back to normal. Focused on her toy. I'm just gonna let her do that. That's fine with me. While I was upstairs and my wife Bree was dog sitting, our neighbor dogs Lucy and Winnie were taking a walk and Moira noticed them. And look how Bree snaps into training mode.
Moira. Yes. Yeah. Good. Shake off. Perfect.
So this is great. She's clearly interested in the dogs, but she still gave Bree her attention for a sec. Naturally, this is going to be easier for her than if she were outside and closer to the dogs. I'm hoping to build upon this when we start training in public over the coming days. But as you can see, she's almost too wound up to listen, even here in the living room. So wish me luck on that. It's night 3. Crate training overnight is not going the best. The good news is, Moira is super comfortable in bed. She's not stressed out at all. She seems really happy. Perfect. Look at that. A nice settle. But in all seriousness, since she had really significant anxiety, I'm just doing anything I can to get her more comfortable. And this is like literally the only thing that's caused her to be comfortable. And I feel like we are not causing irreversible damage. #1 dog training channel on YouTube, right here. You wanna play? I'll give you a little bit of play. I'll give you a little bit of play. I mean, honestly, the bond is what trumps everything when you're training a dog. You gotta really get to know each other and like each other. And it's impossible not to like a dog. Fortunately, they feel the same way about us most of the time. Okay, Moira, you win. She's talked me into playing a game of tug of war before bed. You might also notice this handle we've attached to her. I'm trying to phase in more time off of the temporary indoor tie out there. So this traffic handle really allows me to get a hold of her a little bit easier if I need to. But still, when I'm not supervising her, I have her restrained. Here, come on. See right here. Want to be able to quickly get to her. Don't want her going back there. Pardon the mess. Believe it or not, I really feel like we're starting to lay a foundation for Moira's training. But the coming days are definitely going to bring some huge challenges for both of us. And spoiler alert, things aren't going to go this smoothly for long. So definitely subscribe to my channel to see how everything plays out. And sign up for my totally free digital dog training course, 30-Day Perfect Pup, and check out Pupford's awesome training treats and shoes that you saw me using in this episode. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and get both of my books. All of the links will be in the description, and we'll see you in episode 3.